Okay, today is December the 25th, 2010. It's Christmas, so Merry Christmas, everybody. A couple months ago, I signed up to be a developer for Android phones as well as a couple other phones and operating systems for phones and things like that because, like I mentioned in a few videos, that I truly love development and I would really like to own a software company. But I want to focus. I think I want to focus mainly on software for cell phones. So I'm on the SDK screen on the developer.android.com site, and this is where you download the software and the API, SDK, whatever you want to call it, the tools that you'll need to develop Android applications, and also in addition to tools, I think they also have a forum. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm pretty sure they have a forum. I see blog there, so that's one and the same. But this morning, I stayed back from hanging out, and I decided I was going to work on my first Android app. So this is what I whipped together. I'm going to show you my screen here. I'm pulling up Eclipse right now. It's an IDE that you use to develop programs for C++, Java, PHP, and a few other things. But for Eclipse, I mainly use it for Java. I'm not heavy into Java. I do web development, and I've also done some .NET development. But I'm fair in Java. So knowing that cell phone applications are developed in Java, I decided I needed to become a Java developer. So that's kind of what I'm doing. This is the beginning steps of me becoming a Java developer, which it should be an easy transition for me because I'm already a developer. It's just in a different language with a different set of tools. So I think over time I'll be able to progress a little faster than coming in fresh off the street having done no development. So I got my screen up here. I've already created a project that you guys might only barely be able to see. Okay. I've got a few projects here, but those were just sample apps. The one that we're working on is the Hello WebView project, and it has some assets here, some XML files and source files and things like that. The one that's highlighted says Hello WebView.java. I'm going to show you guys this code that I built this morning, if I can get my coordination together. Okay. Now you can see here, because I keep my editor numbered, there's only really 17 lines of code, and that's all. And it wouldn't be that much except that I spaced, as you can see here. I use spacing to make it a little more clear. But it's very few lines of code, and this is an actual full working application. What I've done was I've created a web view. It's an object in Android development that you can use to view web pages. The onCreate event is already created for you, and I'm just manipulating that. I've used my web view to send my browser on my Android phone to this URL. And you can send it to wherever you want, but in this case, I'm sending it to my affiliate link to, in theory, when someone downloads this app, it'll take them to Adult Friend Finder. If they're signed up, they can just log right in. If they're not signed up and they're interested in signing up, by using this link, I would get paid a commission every time someone signs up. Or I get a few cents even if they just click the link. So basically what this does is it's going to put a button on the screen. That's an Android application. When you click it, it loads the URL. This is 17 lines of code with spacing, very minimal. It took me about 15 minutes tops to get it written out, tested, verified that it's working. So I'm going to show you guys that it's working now. I'm going to go up here, and I have an Android emulator. That is a program that will run the application that you built as if it's an Android phone. So you guys will see that load up. So I'm going to click Run. I'm going to run my app, and there's the emulator. It's loading up right now. The problem with emulators is they're slow. That's the best way I can tell you. It's interpreted, and if you're not a programmer, you might not know what that means, but basically it's slow. So it's going to take a few minutes, but you can see that the buttons here are for testing, and it's trying to make it exactly the way it would function if you had an actual Android phone. I'm actually recording this on an Android phone, and I also test my apps. After I test it on the emulator, I test it also on my phone. So if this ever decides to load up, you guys will see how it would function on your Android phone once I get it working. This is the first of quite a few apps that I'm going to probably build for the Android OS and the Android platform, and I'm going to try to make them work on as many models of the Android phone as possible. I'll upload them to the Android market. You can download them usually for free. I don't know if I'll get a paid version of any of the things I do. It's kind of too early to tell, but so that's probably what I'll be doing. I'll just be building applications on my laptop here. It's got it. Okay, so I've got it loaded. So I'll be building applications on my laptop here, testing them on my own. You know, I don't need a software team. I don't need to outsource. I can do most of everything that I need myself. If I needed someone to design a GUI like this, something nice with this background, I call Steve, I call Sebastian, I call Jay. But all the development, the testing, database stuff, if I need it, I can do all that on my own. That's really cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and test this out. It works touchscreen just like an Android phone, but you just got to use your mouse as your finger. So here we go. I'm going to drag this over to unlock my screen. And this app was already running. So I'm going to go home here. I did that by clicking the home button over here. It's highlighted blue right there. Okay. Now this looks a little more familiar. This may not look like everybody's Android home screen, depending on when this emulator came out. So just bear with me. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, go down here, and I'll click this to bring up my apps. Now remember, my app is Hello WebView. There's one right here that says Hello Android. That's another one I built this morning just for testing things on the console. But let's go over here and click Hello WebView. Get up there so you can see that. Now the icon for the app is just a default Android app. I can put anything as the icon, and if I want it, I could put a picture of myself. I could put a car. I could put, you know, if the application had an icon, I would normally use that, but just for testing purposes, I'm going to use the default icon. So you would touch this, you know, same way you would run, and it would basically bring that up. Bam. Now, like I mentioned, it went through my affiliate URL, so when someone clicks it, if they were interested, say some guy was like, oh, what is this? What is this Adult Friend Finder app? And he clicked it, boom. He goes here, you know. He would, you know, 5 times out of 10 decide I want to join up. Because he does, I get an affiliate commission based on that. Okay, so we know that it's working. You can browse. When you click any of the links here, the Android's mobile web browser takes over from that point. Now I can override that, but for testing purposes, I decided not to do that. And this is the join form. So we know that works. So let's go ahead and get out of here. So again, that little app was built in Java for the Android app in under 15 minutes. You can get a close-up of the code. I don't really care. So I'll be churning out more apps. You know, most of it will be useful. This was just something that I just did. I'm going to probably build first a few apps for my affiliate links. Obviously, a mobile app for my dating site, hornydevilsonline.com. And sometime in mid to late summer of next year, I'll probably have a few mobile cell phone games completed. I've been working on a few here and there for a few months now, but hopefully next summer, which will be 2011, I'll have 2 cell phone apps completed. But I just wanted to show you guys the flexibility of the Android SDK. If you're a developer and you want to have the freedom to start your own software company, and you don't have necessarily the funding or the manpower, this really frees you up to be able to do it not only in your spare time, but just however you want. It gives you can bring a lot of what you already know over into this platform, and it's cross compatible. So that's really helpful for people like me. So that's pretty much what I do. You guys got to see my very first app on Christmas 2010. So you know, if you see this here, this is the Eclipse IDE. If you watch this video and you got some feedback, maybe an idea for an Android app, you know, email me. If you're on my Facebook friends list, you can contact me. You can search me on Google. You can there's a way to contact me. But this was just the first peek at what is to come in the next year or two. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first video.